Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer and a Pirate.
Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Engineer. We're broadcasting here from the Adafruit factory in New York City. It's me, LADYADA. With me is Mr. LADYADA, and we got a special bonus engineer, Paul. Paul, engineer pirate, which is the best.
Yeah.
Yar. Paul from Pimoroni, or as they say it, Pimoroni?
Pimoroni.
Pimoroni, Pimoroni. We're going to have an exciting show tonight.
This is epic.
Everyone loves special guests.
Do they?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Even me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You love me, right?
No, people are freaking. There's this like screaming,
yes.
crying, and they're like, "Where's Paul?"
Yeah.
It's totally like the
Is that
Beatles.
what I'm hearing outside?
Yes, that's what you're hearing. That's what you're hearing. The sirens.
In protests.
Yeah.
Protests. And the
Not
government
us.
is dissolving.
Apparently everything's on fire in the world right now, but not here and not for the next hour.
No, we've got an awesome show. All electronics, Raspberry Pi stuff, new
Yeah.
products,
You want to do this?
IO news. Yeah, what's going on?
All right. On tonight's show, the code is Pimoroni, 10% off in the Adafruit store, including all the Pimoroni stuff,
Yep.
all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. We're here with Paul Pimoroni. We'll be talking about Pimoroni and more. Put your questions in the chat. We'll get to them right away. Buying something Adafruit supports us, an open source hardware company. No loans, no venture capital. We're just doing this thing, independent company. So when you buy something, this is who you're helping out. Show and tell. About 11 people on the show and tell showed up tonight. Epic show and tell.
It was epic.
Packed mailbags and stop by. Some time travel, some factory footage, some Nimbus, the friendly cloud entity, some 3D printing, some new products. We'll answer your questions, and we'll open up the phones at the end. All that and more on Ask an Engineer. All right.
Zoop, zoop, zoop.
So let's get to some stuff, and then we'll dive right in.
We're on air.
Yeah. So don't forget code Pimoroni, 10% off all the way up to 11:59. This is Ask an Engineer, 8 p.m. every Wednesday. We just did the show and tell. If you're in New York City on checkout before 11 a.m. and you're in zip codes that are in Manhattan, you can get same-day delivery. UPS, $200 or more, continental U.S. free UPS ground. We just added DHL, beep 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 beep, to Canada. Zoom. That's just fun. Okay, LADYADA, show and tell happened. It was packed.
It was packed. Lots of new people today.
All right, what was on show and tell?
Okay, we started out with, well, not in complete order, but we had Phil B, who showed off the TV out for SAMD21 library. He's basically bit-banging NTSC signal out of a SAMD21, so Circuit Playground or Feather M0 or Metro M0. Lots of fun. You can do little grayscale images on your TV. Noah Pedro showed off this week's 3D Hangouts project. It's a NeoPixel riser truck for when you want to skateboard and have lights. And Tony D and Scott are special edition in Portland this week. They're there for PyCon.
That's right.
It's the most awesome interpreted, dynamically evaluated conference ever. Scott released CircuitPython 0.10. There's an education summit that Tony D is giving a talk at. Go see them if you're in Portland. Email Scott at Adafruit if you're watching this live or the day after you just went live.
Yep.
Or you can email Scott and just tell him what a great job he's doing. But if you're in Portland, hit him up and you can hang out, show him your makerspace, or come to the PyCon event. It says Adafruit folks. We also had Chris Young, who has been working with us on adding CircuitPython support for infrared LED receive and transmit. So far, he's got IR receive working in CircuitPython, and he broke a whole bunch of stuff. And that's really cool because he got the circuit playground to hard fault, and that allowed us to put in tests to let us detect hard faults and not keep executing if that happens. So, it's cool. He's like learning a lot, and we're learning a lot. And he said like sometimes to make things foolproof, you have to act the fool. Then Nicholas showed off a PyGirl 2 project he built where he drilled through a lithium polymer battery. Don't do that. It will go poof. So he showed us what that looks like. So
But he earned a Sparky the Blue Smoke Monster badge.
he did, but it's good. It says don't puncture or spindle or mutilate.
Yeah,
and
but
they
how do you
mean
know
it.
for sure?
How do you know? Well, now we know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nicholas. And he showed off his Gremlins lunchbox with a Raspberry Pi computer that he takes around to education conferences and tries to get teachers to build makerspaces. This looks pretty cool. Gremlins.
Yeah, he was an English teacher as well, but
Yes.
he just said, don't care.
No, English teachers before they're like, this is great.
Well, if you think about it, technology is a primary language now.
Yeah.
You need to not only be able to speak and write, but you have to be able to use the tools that everyone uses now. So this makes sense.
Yeah. But technology, in a way, is telling stories. Like I think I learned the most from my English classes,
Yeah.
like my literature. I feel like it gave me the most information about how people interact with technology. But that's what a good class does.
Yeah.
A good teacher doesn't matter what they're playing around with, but he's interested in makerspaces.
Yep.
And that's cool. Look, anything to compete with Overwatch. It's a tough world out there. Ryan Davis had his really sweet Numatron clock that he built for a high school project. It's Arduino compatible, it's all through hole, it has a real-time clock. It's just beautiful, this like glowing orange.
The golden sheen.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I'm asking for some 4K images.
You want some pics?
Yeah, I want some photos.
Yeah, we'll blog them up if you send them
They
over.
look beautiful.
Nice work, Ryan. Okay, Greg G gave us an update on his Bluetooth boat feather project. He put a Bluetooth feather into
Yeah.
his boat, and he said he got 30-foot range.
Yep.
30-foot range, which is pretty amazing.
Mainly what he has put is a disco boat, though.
It's
Yeah.
a disco boat.
Let's look
Was
at the
it
big
30 or
picture here.
300? No, it's 300 feet.
No, he updated it. Me in the
Oh,
chat.
sorry.
Yeah.
30
Yep.
foot, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's like exactly the physical limit. They
Yeah.
say no more than 10 meters.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
And you can tell, like, that's the only boat like that.
No, he's got a total disco boat.
It won't be uncomfortable in the marina, like, oh, you got the same boat. Not anymore.
No, he's definitely got, he's got a
'Cause
glowy boat.
That probably happens. Someone gets a
Party
boat
boat.
and then they have the same boat. Not
And he had
anymore.
a bilge tank sensor,
Yeah.
which is all about. We were actually talking about bilge tanks before the show. We
Yeah.
did a show called The Bilge Tank.
No, we've shown behind the scenes now. People realise it's not real. We
What?
faked the whole boat thing. We're not actually at sea.
Oh, you actually have like the
We're being
nautical
revealed.
field?
Yeah.
Do you have the camera like kind of waving back and
No,
forth?
we thought about mounting it on kind of servos and
Oh,
stuff
that'd be
like.
so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's got a real boat. You can go hang out with Greg. He'll let you stream from a boat. Run
You
a
seem
boat.
to know a thing or two.
Yes.
LADYADA gets seasick instantly, so we don't do a lot
Dude,
of
I
that
get
stuff.
seasick going into a cab.
VR?
I haven't
No.
even tried it because I
Okay.
was going to puke everywhere.
Yep.
No, like seeing boats, it's like, whoa.
Oh,
Yeah.
yuck. Yeah, I'm like a seasick person. Rachel, she built basically a circuit playground on her own, but she added a BNO055, so it's a direction motion sensor.
Yeah.
Uses a SAMD21 processor, which is our new favorite chip. A custom PCB, did it in KiCad,
Yep.
and got a toaster at her makerspace to make the PCBs. It's really cool, and it was like really beautiful. It had all the neopixels, like 16 neopixels.
Yep.
Yeah, what I like is you put out the schematics, the source code, all these things, and then people come up with independent projects. They'll use your schematics, and then a lot of makers arrive at some of the same decisions, and they kind of look at what you're doing. We look at what they're doing. So this is neat. This is like why we do open source.
Yeah.
So that was. I think I said full circle. I didn't mean it to go that well with the project, but
It was
did.
a circular project.
Yeah.
So really sweet. Maybe we'll blog that up as well because I think people would like to build their own
Yeah.
custom circuit playgrounds. But look, everyone's getting into this chip. Rebecca, her finals are over. She showed off photos from her engineering expo. She showed off her project. Sabrina showed off her project. The self-watering plant box worked out. The electronics worked, but the box didn't. And Sabrina's Braille box won second place. She got all working right after because she was on the stream. She was like, "It's not working." I'm like, "I know you can do it. Just keep on it." And then I guess like an hour later, it came together. Is that how it
Yep.
always is?
Don't know. No, I'm just too slow. I take ages to execute on things.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
just when you think it's not going to work out, that's when things start getting better.
No, it needs to break at least 3 or 4 times.
Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah. I when things are going well, I'll make duplicates of everything, because I'm like, and if I had a choice, if a project's going really well, I would like to remake the project and destroy one of them. That way, it's on my terms.
Right. So you do genetic building,
I try to.
right?
So
No,
that's
the
why we have
successful
two.
ones.
That's why we have two picking places. We have two.
Oh yeah,
so
with two compressors. Come on,
we have a
compress
whole
that
other
down.
Adafruit that no one knows about,
just carbon copy.
just in case.
Yeah.
Just in
We
case.
have another
Like contact.
stenciler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, so Sabrina got second place. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Sabrina. Hopefully you use some of the cool stuff you've won on our show. Lim built a circuit playground glove with shake. That's pretty cool. Like as you shake it, it detects it and it
Yeah.
like turns the lights on.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Because we were thinking how to do the glove
It's
detection.
neat because you can be riding your bike and you're just like, I'm gonna make a turn and like go like that. It's cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah.
Really cool. And then he was like, well, I want to make something that has an all-in-one with a compass. So he made a custom Flora, also the SAMD21, and included a compass chip on it instead of a NeoPixel. So it's really neat. I like people taking our open source designs and remixing them.
Yeah.
And then finally, Chikov from Bulgaria, which is really cool. I don't think you've ever had somebody from Bulgaria before. Maybe our first. Had a Raspberry Pi plus Arduino vertical farm with lettuces, with like chicory or something,
Yeah.
with sorry, not chicory, clover, and
Yep.
it got like glow lights and a Raspberry Pi Noir camera.
Yeah, irrigation system.
Irrigation system,
Yeah.
light. Like, it was intense. It was a huge farm, like
Yeah.
solar nodes.
Yeah, I like these type of projects because if you think about what farming is, sensors, it's measuring things. They have lights and cameras.
Yep.
And the other neat thing is all the names of the products had something to do with like fruit. So Raspberry Pi and Adafruit. Control it with a BlackBerry, maybe an Apple computer. Ooh, you know, who knows?
I just like it engineers out the risk because I kill plants.
Yeah.
Even indestructible plants, I kill them. So
Yeah.
automation is the way forward.
Yeah, and I like that this isn't like, you know, the juice startup or something where it's a packet it's squished. This is something that you build and grow.
No, those look good.
Yeah, that's tasty.
I want a juicero now. I'm
Yeah,
hoping
see?
that the whole squeeze thing will make them cheap.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wanted to use one as the base for a small desktop injection molder.
Oh, that's a really
That's
good
like
idea.
4
That's a good
tons of
idea.
pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like
Could be
like a
useful.
Sugru extruder.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good
All right.
idea.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Okay, well, that was the show and tell. All participants on the show and tell get an SE on the show and tell sticker. Every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. We do this part of the Adafruit Live series. This week we had some Desk of Lady Ada. Lady Ada, you showed some interesting things
I show?
on the Desk of Lady Ada this week.
We showed off the new Make guide because we picked up a copy of the
Yep.
local store had one, and then we showed
Yep.
off this really adorable little TFT display.
Make Volume 57's out. If you want Make to do more cool features and projects of companies like Adafruit, make sure you tweet at Make, and then the hashtag is hashtag MakeV57. So from what I understand, this is one of the more popular ones already
Yep.
based on all the social media stuff. So this was 11 years or so of Make Magazine.
Cool.
And this is, we have a poster here. So
Yep.
it's neat. And it's always nice when someone tells your story.
Yeah.
So that was cool. So we were excited by that. What else you got?
It all went
Yeah,
by.
it went away.
Do you want to replay it again?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, why don't you play it all?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go like this.
Okay.
Lady.
What happened? Okay, so we had, because we did a lot of little videos. So, okay, we had the Make magazine, showed off all the boards and the article, and then I showed off this little TFT screen, which is super cute, little prototype.
Yeah.
And then, I showed off the feather guide, which we'll be talking about. I wrote a
Oh, yeah.
90-page feather guide. We demoed Make code for Circuit Playground, which is kind of neat. So people were trying it out on their like Nexus
Yep.
tablets and stuff, and showing how like Make code works. And then, this was a really cool like iPhone schematic repair book that we got from Shenzhen.
Yeah.
Like it was totally illegal. It has like all the schematics and like how to repair an iPhone.
You can
and
make your own
stuff.
iPhone.
Yeah, I
It's
saw
super
this.
happy.
Yeah. I mean, illegal, you know.
Totally legal.
China.
Yeah.
This is a stream we did here. I just showed off a Sharp display update and also the Metro
Yeah.
NR52.
All right.
And we just did a video update mostly
Yeah.
because we were streaming from here.
Yeah, we're trying out.
Okay, that's
more
what we
of
did.
that. Does Tony D? Tony had his rehearsal for his PyCon talk, which is tomorrow. So if you're interested in seeing his talk tomorrow when you're there, go for it. However, he's going to be doing a video, and there's a video on Twitch right now. And here's just some of the slides if you wanted to learn about all the ways to program Python, physical computing, and all these different boards. There's a menagerie of Pythonic hardware now, which is kind of cool. All right, well, speaking of LADYADA, we'll get to this later, but we just launched the latest and greatest,
0.10.
0.10.
We're not at 1.0 yet,
Yeah.
but we're getting closer.
Yeah, we'll go over that shortly, but big deal. And people that do electronics and teach people, they're getting obsessed with the Circuit Playground because it's so easy to get going. No software, no anything, just shows up. So
Yep.
for us who use electronics so much, how much time do you spend each time?
Friction kills it.
And like that 5 minutes for especially young people or beginners or both
Yep.
is the time where it's like, how can we like not make it the most frustrating thing? So it's easier to write some Python and get something to blink than it is to open up an Amazon package right now.
Cool.
Yeah, that was one of the goals.
Which is what we're competing with.
Yeah.
So mailbag. Packed mailbag stops by. So we read these to the entire company. Always email support@adafruit.com, and we also added a new pull down on our contact form if you want to say something nice to our team. So this week, LADYADA and the rest of Adafruit crew, you're all amazing. 2.3-inch TFT screen is a great product. Thank you so much, LADYADA. Your inspiration. Keep up the awesomeness, Joshua.
Thanks, Joshua.
Yeah, no voicemail this week because I didn't have time to put one in. However, you can always leave a message at ownbitstab. That's our phone number. If we don't pick up and it goes to voicemail, say something nice. We'll play it on the show. All right, time travel. Look back in the world of hackers, makers, artists, engineers, pioneers, people doing cool stuff. Let's go back in time. Ready, LADYADA?
Yes.
1718. What happened?
I guess Maria
Italian mathematician.
Agnesi.
First woman to write a mathematical handbook and the first woman appointed mathematics professor at a university.
That's cool.
All right, still traveling. 1804, Elizabeth Palmer Peabody, American educator, founded the first U.S. kindergarten, is born. Happy birthday.
That's cool.
Yeah. Do they do a kindergarten in the UK? Is it called kindergarten?
Yeah, no, nursery.
Nursery?
Yeah.
In what age is that?
Up to 5.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And it's called nursery.
Yeah.
We have kindergarten.
Yeah.
All right.
It's much cuter.
Yeah. It does sound better.
Nursery cop doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to look up where the word kindergarten came from.
It's German.
German.
Yeah, but like, does it mean nursery? Like, what does it mean?
It means
Child
child
garden.
Yeah? A garden of children?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
Probably was a garden, and they just throw the kids and be like, "Look, just
Yeah.
don't eat the
No, I'm
poison
like
ivy."
the origins. Like, why is
Where
it
they
kid
grow.
garden and not like kid cage or something? Or kid box?
What?
Well, they tried to pick cage. They just
What's
fought
wrong with
each other.
I had a weird childhood. So, okay. Next up, happy birthday, Nancy Roman, American astronomer.
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 It's not a word.
First female executive at NASA, known to many as the mother of Hubble.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Hubble's cool.
Yeah. All right. And then a little bit of time travel. No and Pedro were at a maker fair in Florida, and we have some video. So we're going to show that.
That's cool.
You want to touch the sun? Yes. It's hot, baby. Spread it out. Then you can fire it. I think this fishy likes me. He just gave me a kiss.
Okay, National Week of Making is coming up. Don't forget, it's June 16th, 22nd. Check out nationalweekofmaking.org. This is neat. In the U.S., you've had some interesting things in the U.K. recently with politics and war, and the U.S. has some similar things. So before there was a government effort to have makers, and then it got removed from the White House site. So now there's an independent organization. They're doing National Week of Making. And so that's neat. I like that idea because, politics change, but everyone's going to always make stuff. So that's coming up, and this is a new group that's doing it.
Cool.
Some of the same people, though.
Yeah, but you've been kind of pushing the updates, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a nice megaphone now, and so how can we put the spotlight on Dorothy and Stephanie and all these folks that are trying to bring all these different communities together, and not under like a magazine, makes great, but not under an administration in the government that I didn't check CNN today. I think maybe it's changed, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, so that's
National Week of Making.
Yeah, National Week of Making.
Check
all
it
right.
out.
So LADYADA, we're an open source company. We have some guides.
We did. We put a bunch of guides in
Yeah, go for
today. Okay. So we actually have, can you hide us for a moment? Because I want to show the make code guide.
Oops.
So the first guide is the make code guide, which is, right down there. And that's by Pelly from Microsoft, who is one of the leads on make code. There's only like 10 of them working on it, and they're doing an amazing job. This is a guide on how to use your Circuit Playground Express if you have one. We'll talk about that later. And you can use make code, which is a fully web-based programming system. What's really cool about it is it works on every computer, from Android tablets to Android phones to Chromebooks to Windows, Mac, and Linux. The only thing it doesn't work with is iOS, because iOS doesn't let you connect anything to it.
Not yet.
Not yet. We're working on it.
We have ideas.
But it's cool because you plug it in, there's no drivers, you just go to the web page and you're immediately doing block-based programming. There's a simulator so you can see what your program will look like before you download it to your device. And it's got like audio and NeoPixels and sensors. And they're working really hard on it. And this is just a guide getting you started. And what's really cool is they made it so you can embed make code projects into the guide. So as you're following this tutorial, you can see the project
and it's
live.
open source, and we
It's
already know some pretty high-profile makers who make hardware that I think we're skeptical at first.
It's Microsoft.
Microsoft,
It's like,
open source education, and then they use it and they're just like, this works on everything.
Yeah, but they did a
But
really good job.
Microsoft are kind of good now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I think they got the competition came in, they're like, okay, well, we have to actually do a really
Yeah.
good job. And so they did something really amazing. They actually did nearly a perfect, I can't think of anything better for teaching microcontrollers.
So we got that going on. And then I wanted to show just a little bit of, you have this massive feather guide.
I have a massive feather guide I wrote Thursday and over the weekend. I kind of just sat down and did it because, especially with the ESP32 feather that just came out, there's now 4 Wi-Fi feathers and 3 Bluetooth feathers and so many different options.
Yeah.
I really wanted to write a guide that covered every single feather. And I'm still adding all the feathers into the site and making sure they appear in the product pages, but it's about 90 pages long or so, and it compares every feather and every feather wing, and I even have a page for community-made feathers and feather wings.
Yeah.
So if you're like, what is this, and what works with what, and it has all the compatibility questions that people often ask, it's all in that guide, so go there.
Okay, and then I'm just going to show a little bit of this video, but this is from Aaron, and this is the Learn Electronics. for the thrilling conclusion and more on YouTube.
Yeah,
so
and then Carter Nelson had a Pi Zero guide.
yeah, and so we noticed a trend. This is LADYADA with the Circuit Playground, and then this is a Swedish magazine. So we're pretty sure every magazine is going to have a round electronic. You have a round board.
Yeah,
So-
we could. Yeah, flotilla.
Exactly, and
No
so
problem.
it seems to be a trend. Round boards on eyes.
Eyeballs.
Yeah. One thing that I wanted to mention, because we were just talking about this, there was a New York Times article, and they had this giant thing about the different companies in education.
Yep.
So Google right now has 30% of the education market. They have Mail, and they have Docs, and all the apps, and they have Chromebooks.
Yep.
And so one of the things that you probably see even on your side of the pond is downloading software and having like a desktop app isn't probably going to be the same too much longer.
Yeah, no, school IT is just a mess though.
Yeah, they can't manage
yeah.
all this stuff, and they can't manage mail. They just don't have the infrastructure. And so when we think about like how young people going to learn to program, they're probably going to do it in a web browser.
Phone.
Yeah, phones.
On a phone.
Exactly. And so it's interesting. Like we made sure our stuff works on Chromebook because we're like, well, what are we going to do?
Yep.
And that might not be able to download something. They might only have phones. So
Yeah, it depends on what kind of scale you're working on. Some of it is just like learning to do tasks.
yeah,
So you're hooking
or
up
dragging
things.
blocks around. So.
Yeah.
That's why we like to make code, because it's you start with, you just start with like dragging blocks around and you just make an LED blink or something beep, and
Yeah.
it just sort of gets you into the idea of like, oh, these things happen in order, and then you have events, like if you press a button, something happens,
Yeah.
and then you can always take them further into JavaScript or Arduino, but like I feel like having somebody's first programming language be like text is just, it's a little challenging.
It can be, yeah. Data entry. Nobody's really excited by that.
And it's just like
Yeah.
semicolons and spaces and not enough spaces and not the right semicolons and too many parentheses or not enough parentheses.
But I want problems. I want to solve them, and
Yeah.
then the learning kind of comes aside
Yeah.
to that.
That's why project-based stuff is always fun.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I want to just have this thing on my costume,
Yeah.
and then you get a whole bunch of other stuff
Yeah.
along the way. So that's really neat. Okay, and then next up, LADYADA, is we got some scenes from the Adafruit factory.
Beep,
We
beep.
make stuff.
What do we make? It's our stenciler.
Got some boards going by.
Neat, neat.
Paul got a tour of this today.
Yep.
Ding.
And then we, this is another mill. This is where we cut some of our boards so you can see
Yeah.
the
you're
testers that
doing
we
a
make.
Tester. It's just fun.
Some more other mill footage.
Did
We
you
have
guys
this
have another
little.
mill?
No. We've not done very well on 3D printers or mills.
Yeah.
Really. Just never really had time to dedicate to them.
Noah and Pedro have all of them. That's
Yep.
how we solved this.
The
We're
mill
like,
is really cool because you can just prototype PCBs and testers. It's kind of fun.
The other mill has lasted though. That's the good thing.
yeah,
Yeah. You've had that a while now,
yeah, we use it all
and
the
it
time.
hasn't died or
No,
gathered dust.
It's
No.
only for it's only for prototype, not for
Yeah.
production.
Yeah.
And the 3D printer we build fun projects, but also an enclosure design. We'll do that. We'll start with the 3D printer.
and
Yep.
Paul's joining us, so you'll probably be able to see some of this New York City sunset. It's like 90 degrees out today. Look at that. That's what our pick and place sees every night. Okay, so that's made in New York. One update from Nimbus the friendly,
Clinisteria.
the friendly cloud entity. We have some IO stats. 80
All right.
80 million inserts logged data last 7 days, 27,000 users, 23,000 online feeds, 79,000 feeds total. So
All
that
right,
is
getting
happening
towards
now.
30,000 users. I remember we had 10,000 users when we were first
Yep.
doing the stats.
That's right. We're going to do some 3D printing videos, and then y'all are going to hang out and talk, and then some new products. So 3D printing, Noah and Pedro. This is the video that skateboarders have been waiting for. I used to skateboard. So
All right, let's ollie it up.
NeoPixels, Tony Hawk, using NeoPixels.
Yeah.
Or Noah Pixels in this
No
case.
pixels.
All right.
This is my electric longboard, and one of our first projects was actually adding new pixel LED strips to the bottom of this board. I've been meaning to redo this project. This time we're going to integrate the NeoPixel LEDs into 3D printed truck risers. Truck riser pads are basically pieces of plastic that go in between your skate trucks and your board. and this can help prevent wheel bite, especially since it elevates the board from the trucks. They're also really helpful when you're pushing and sliding, especially since it lowers your center of gravity. A lot of good reasons to use them, especially for longboards. So I've seen some LED truck risers on Amazon and eBay, but for this project, we're gonna use the Adafruit Feather Bluefruit. Having Bluetooth connected NeoPixel LEDs can be pretty useful because you can change the colors, set the brightness, and even trigger animations all through your smartphone. So the plan is to design and 3D print the enclosure and then put in the electronics. All the electronics are going to be mounted with machine screws. That way it'll minimize the vibrations from all that writing. I'm also using standard mounting holes. This way it'll work on modern skate trucks, so hopefully the tolerances will all line up when this is 3D printed. So I went ahead and sliced the part, so now it's ready for some 3D printing. I'm using some PLA, which is pretty common, but I have a pretty high infill, so hopefully it's strong enough. For folks who don't have a 3D printer, you can actually still make this project. You can check out a 3D printing service like 3dhubs.com. There you can find a local maker who has a 3D printer, and they'll actually 3D print it and ship it to you. So the 3D printed part came out really well, but before I install the electronics, I think it's a good idea to test ride it a little bit just to make sure that it is durable enough to hold my weight. So it's a good idea to test it before I install the electronics. Okay, so I just finished installing the truck risers without the electronics. Of course, I had to use some longer hardware. So it's installed, and let's go test it out and see if it's all good. All right, so I've been testing for about an hour. I made sure to be easy at first, but now I'm doing some really hard carves, going over the pavement, going over speed bumps, and I'm pretty confident this thing's gonna hold up. So let's go ahead and install the electronics. To wire all of the electronics together, we just need a couple of tools like a soldering iron and some wire cutters. I also like to use a pan of ice and third helping hands just because it makes things a lot easier when you're wiring them. I also like to use silicone coated wires just because it's really flexible and heat resistant, but you don't have to use this stuff. You can use whatever you have on hand. So for this project, I'm using the Adafruit Feather Bluefruit. This is an Arduino compatible microcontroller with a Bluetooth module. This high density NeoPixel stick will be the headlights. I'm gonna use a 500 milliamp LiPo battery for power and an on-off switch. So I'm documenting this whole project and basically taking photos of each step. I'm gonna put all of this together in a learning guide so folks can actually follow along and build this project for themselves. There's not a whole lot of steps, so I think this is gonna be a pretty good project for people that are new to electronics and looking to get into the hobby. So with all of the wiring done, I can go ahead and install this back underneath the trucks. So I just uploaded some code to the Adafruit Feather. This is NeoPixel Demo Sketch, which just cycles through these awesome animations. There's also a color picker mode, so I can change the colors and brightness using my iPhone. That's pretty cool. I think we are ready to give this a test drive.
Okay, to watch the full video, youtube.com/Adafruit. So, it is time. But before that, that's code, Pimoroni. That's what tonight's about. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are
Special
you?
guest.
Yep,
You're
What are you doing here?
I made it, yeah.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm on my way to make a fair Bay Area, but you don't pass New York without coming to pay homage to...
One of the things that we really like is when we think of companies that are like Adafruit, Pimoroni is always one of those. The care that you put into things. I remember the first time I saw the pie cases that you did.
Yep.
And they're rainbow and they're beautiful. And we had a laser cutter in our living room, so I knew what went into it.
Yeah. Well, part of this is your fault.
Yeah.
Because I got the early kind of 6-sided case, and I built it around the pie, and it was kind of picked it up and rattled it. Because you have to leave tolerance there for the things to fit, and it's like, it rattles.
Uh-oh.
It shouldn't rattle. Somebody should do something about that.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
somebody
did.
should really do something about that.
And you did something about it.
I could do something about that.
And that's how, is that the origin of part of
No, that's Pimoroni, yeah.
Okay,
So-
great.
so
You've got
what-
me saying Pimoroni now.
Yeah, sorry.
You've corrupted me.
Yes.
Pimoroni. Is it?
Pimoroni.
It doesn't matter. We
Pimoroni.
accept either.
Pirate
but,
You
is
hear
pie.
Adafruit and Adafruit, we're fine with
yeah,
it.
but we want to be like a fine Italian beer.
Okay.
Pimoroni.
Pimoroni.
Pimoroni. So,
Pimoroni.
where'd the name come from?
It really was just random cool stuff on the internet, because the name came like in 2010 or something. Because I've got the original email from my friend who speaks Japanese, and she did the original Japanese translation of it, because we always had the Japanese kanji characters
Yeah.
to go with it. And yeah, it was just cool stuff. Pirates, ninjas, robots, monkeys.
Okay.
No vampires, no zombies.
No
'cause-
bacon.
No.
No say bacon.
And
Yeah.
and you have a connection with Raspberry Pi more than most people know, I think. Right?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
So the logo.
Is
Yeah.
Sheffield near Cambridge?
No.
I'm super ignorant about
No.
it.
Let's start with the logo first,
Yeah.
and then we
Okay.
can do geography. So
Yeah.
this logo is, I think, one of the best logos in history. I'm a logo geek, so there's like
Yeah.
Next Computer and Apple.
You're displaying it in the worst way there, Phil.
No, I know.
I expected so much better of you.
It's on black. Look, I
know. Yeah.
I only have
Just-
one mode.
We'll talk later.
Yeah. So
Wait, what? Okay.
so how did this come about? Because it's
So they had the thing with Rory Cleth and Jones, and it was David Braben holding up the thing and saying this is going to be $25, and I was like, I believe you, and that is going to be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And
You're a believer.
I was just following it after that.
Okay.
And I was doing freelance graphic design and web design at the time. And when they held the competition, it was like, this needs a big logo. This needs something you can photocopy 4 times, stick on the other side of a
That's
room.
what I was gonna say. It just
and you'll
works.
still spot it.
you
Yeah.
can see it on a board.
Yeah.
You can see it in one color.
Yep.
It looks great on the side of a building.
Yep.
Or
On
on
a
a PCB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was I just want to do a little bit of geeking out on logos.
Geeking out?
Yeah.
So was there other versions that work, that in the evolutionary chain of this that
Yeah. So I tried working with the kind of pi symbol, and a lot of the entries kind of tried to work with the pi symbol.
Yeah.
But it was very quickly I learned that the Greeks knew nothing about graphic design. The whole alphabet was designed without a graphic designer UX specialist involved.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
a few
They just
thousand
wanted
years
to
ago.
chip it into rocks and
Yeah.
stuff. That was
Yeah.
the thing.
But that was their choice, and so it just wasn't going to work. So as soon as I threw that away, it became dead easy.
That's hard because that's the most obvious one.
Yeah. You must have a pi. Must have a pi
Yeah.
symbol. No.
And then the name of it and then the symbol, it looks fun.
Yeah.
When you see it on something.
It's like
Fruity.
juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so after you displayed it, what was the reaction? Was it instant, like that's it?
Yeah. I think I showed it to John. We were just having kind of dinner at one time. It's like, I feel good about this.
Yeah.
I think I've done good here.
Yeah.
And then sent it off and heard nothing for months.
Did you? Well, so you didn't know?
No. It's just like, I think I've done something good, but there is no information coming back.
And that was before you founded Pimoroni.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this was the pie logo, which is you futzing around.
Yeah, me and John, we've done various stuff over the years.
Okay.
We met at a LAN party, and we just John's the other co-founder at Pimoroni. He's way cooler than me. He should be on here. He's an engineer, but
That's fine.
he'll come one day.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. This is the one place he wants to come.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So I started Hackaday a long time ago, and the logo's still there.
Yeah.
And I've designed some other logos.
Design the Adafruit logo.
The update, I had a fantastic designer who still works with us, Bruce. He's our creative director. So it's always weird to see, if someone got a Hackaday tattoo.
Yeah.
And so your logo is on millions of boards.
It's in space.
It's in space.
Yep. It's on tattoos.
So does that hit you? It's just like when you look at it, because it's part of you.
Still hasn't hit. No.
Really?
No.
Because it's everywhere.
Do you have
Yeah.
do you have a tattoo of the Raspberry Pi logo?
Not yet. I'm
Okay.
going to, though.
But
That's going to be my second tattoo.
I believe people have tattooed
Yeah.
Pi logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one of the other things when a logo works on skin.
Yeah.
So did you think of all the different places it was going to go when you designed it?
Not so much, but if you make it robust enough, it's going to survive anything,
Yeah.
right?
It is. I like
Because you
it.
never know what people will do with it.
And did you have a specific colors that mattered that you really like? It?
No, the outline's the important thing.
Gotcha.
The colors they're the thing I got the least right.
Gotcha.
Because originally I just uploaded it with the wrong color palette, so it came out purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd say, no, let's change it. Put this one up. I mucked it up.
Well, congratulations! Like there's like 5 core logos that, when I think of design, FedEx,
Yeah.
that it does
arrow,
something too,
yeah.
and it means something. People like the Apple logo. There's a lot of I like the Next logo.
Yep.
And the Pi logo is one of them.
Cool. Thank you.
And there's only like a handful. Yeah. And it's just it just means so much more than just a symbol. So, anyways,
Yep.
I just want to spend a little bit of time on that because
Cool.
it's cool.
I don't mind talking about it.
Nicely done.
Let's talk about me.
Nicely done.
Let's talk about you.
Okay, so let's talk about the company.
Let's talk about you.
Yeah.
What's the latest and greatest?
Latest and greatest. Oh, well, we're just we keep growing. Because we saw what you guys did here in New York, and anytime a decision point came, we kind of say, yeah, okay, what would Adafruit do? And
We probably rub a cat belly. I heard you do
cat.
that a lot.
yeah.
MOSFET kind of calls most of the shots.
Yeah.
Is there a pet or some type of cat or
Non-human.
dog-like entity?
No, not really, no.
Pimoroni? Yeah?
No.
That's probably good.
We have spirit animals, if anything.
Yeah. And so you saw Adafruit doing stuff.
Yeah.
And so you said, okay, like here's an idea. We have these cases. We've done stuff with Raspberry Pi. And so what was one of the first products that?
So Piglow was the first circuit board, I think, that we kicked out.
Yeah.
And that was John learning Eagle and just doing a test swatch.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So he said, why are all these circuit boards, why do they look like this? Why do they look so boring? And why is everything at 90 degrees? So he made something with the kind of the galaxy thing, where
Yeah.
everything's at arbitrary angles. And I stuck the kind of nice cursive logo on there.
Uh-huh.
And it was kind of like, yeah, that's us setting
cool.
out our stall.
So
And was
so-
it pick and place by hand, or did you have somebody assemble it for you?
No, we got the pick and place.
Okay.
That was the first thing we did on our pick and place. So we did the Pibow case, and me and John and Rory had spent 80 hours a day in the cold in the winter when it's 5 degrees in the workshop, freezing our fingers off, cutting Pibows. And we just got the other side of it where we'd fulfilled the back orders, and we're looking pretty worn out. And it's kind of like all this stuff we've put in, right? We could just say we've done well now and take this, get some BMWs, race them.
Yeah.
And we got there and we said, you know what? We don't want BMWs. Let's get a pick and place.
Yeah.
If we have a pick and place, let's get a pick and place.
Yeah.
And we did, and that was.
Which model did you get?
We got this thing called Intelligent Drives, which is a UK company. They design and build their own pick and place from the ground up.
That's cool.
Wow.
Which is, yeah.
Nice.
And the reason we went with them is they put a price on the website.
Oh, yeah. That's,
There was no
that's the hardest
inquire for
part.
pricing.
Yeah, one of our first ones we found via Mancorp, and you have to put in, quote. You can't just get the price. So it's like, how do you do that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So when was this? What, the Piglow, was it 4 years ago?
So Piglow would have been, might have been early 2013.
2013, okay.
Because 2012 was all about Pibow. We did the Kickstarter.
Pibow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you do Kickstarter? What was it for?
Oh, why on earth did we do this? Kickstarter was
Oh,
launching
wait,
in the UK.
the Picade.
Picade, yeah. Kickstarter was launching in the UK, and we'd been sad about not being able to launch a Kickstarter properly because it was a US thing.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, we're gonna do a Kickstarter.
And how was that?
It was good. It was
Okay.
brutal.
Brutal.
We learned so much about supply chain, getting joysticks and buttons from China.
It's
Because we
challenging.
just thought we'll just go to AliExpress and order a load of things.
Yeah.
No.
No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
But so you fulfilled the Kickstarter, that's done. And now you
yeah.
sell the kits.
Yeah.
It's a popular kit. People
It's
are building.
really popular.
Yeah.
You go through a lot of them.
Yeah,
You keep stealing them.
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, we sell them. We sell them for money.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to the design of the board. So
Yep.
when I look at it, I can clearly tell there's a graphic designer, someone who cares about the look. Like you have ones that look like stereos. They're
Yeah.
whimsical. I
They're
don't know
so
I don't know if
cute.
that translates
Whimsical,
well.
I like
but
that.
they're when you look at it as delightful. It's like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wants to be picked up and played with.
Yeah.
And
This was the thing, the Pibow started this. You got the Raspberry Pi, and it was meant to be for education. We know it was for geeks, really, because geeks do all the real kind of tech educating.
yeah, it's like here's Linux
when
stuff.
people want to do stuff,
Go
right?
compile a kernel, kid.
And teachers are just so busy now
Yeah.
that we have to pick this up. But it's a green circuit board, so a lot of people are saying, this isn't for me. So we put a rainbow case around it, and suddenly it's like, ooh,
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
candy.
yeah. You've got to say to people, this is for you. You shouldn't fear this.
When do you come into the design process from the beginning and the middle and the end? Like, because I see your fingerprints, not literally, but I can tell that there's a designer that's working closely with an engineer.
So there are now maybe 6 of us that kind of think of ideas. It's like, I want to do this, I'm into this, this is cool, let's do this. And then we kind of work as a collective and say, oh, we could have this, no, that's stupid, let's not do that. And we knock these ideas around until we have something we're happy with.
So let's say, just coming up with an idea like the what's the latest thing you did? It was like the speaker, the boomboxy thing.
Okay, the project kits were a slightly different one.
Okay, never mind. So let's think of one that's
Fat beat. So speaker fat.
Okay, speaker fat. Yeah.
Speaker fat. We wanted something where you could plug on and have the digital sound and coming out of the Pi without plugging in a LiPo cheap Chinese speaker thing.
So how does it with 6 people? How do you come through that process?
So somebody will have, I think John kind of said, we need to have a speaker that's just on the Pi.
Yeah.
And I say, it just needs to plug in and go. Can we get something that's the size of a Pi Zero that will fit on the PCB direct? Nico goes off, looks through Taobao, finds a speaker, we get some samples. Okay, that kind of works.
Okay.
And then I say, okay, that's good.
So
I want this to look like
it's driven by the parts. If you can get the part to do what you want.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. If there's no parts, you can't do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no good doing something we don't like things that don't quite fit, that have an odd form factor.
Yeah.
So there are like e-paper things that overhang the board.
Yeah.
We get asked
I
about
don't
that.
like that.
I know, it's just like a little too long.
There's an inelegance about
Okay,
it.
so you got the speaker and you're like, okay, this is a good speaker.
Yeah. And I was like, no, I want this to look like a stylized boombox.
So the speakers, but like how do all 6 people work together? So Nico does the sourcing, you do...
I do kind of like, it should look like this, it should feel
look
like this. Yeah.
So like the project management.
But now we have Lydia who does that, and just the people who care will pick it up, and it won't be all 6 people all the time, or 7 people, whatever. It'll be 2 or 3 kind of pushing it forwards.
And then who does the circuit design?
Circuit design will either be John, Nico, Phil, very occasionally me.
Okay.
But now people generally push me away from Eagle because bad things happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you get the prototypes in and you use a local PCB manufacturer.
Yeah, we have Ragworm. They're down in Kent, and they have the bit involving the nasty chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So circuit boards made in the UK. We get some of the simpler ones we get made in the Far East, but most of it's UK made substrate.
Do you get it faster is that way? Because it's like, do they give you like a speed deal?
No. We basically tortured them with requests.
Yeah.
So if you look at Flotilla, you've seen the colours on the PCB.
Yeah, the colours.
Yeah, we tortured them for months saying, no, we want it to be this colour.
Yeah, Pantone colours.
But it peels off if you make it yellow. Don't care. You want it yellow.
So it's always, people ask LADYADA this all the time, so I'm going to just do this to you.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite design or a favorite product that you have in the store that you're just like, this is like the kind of the classic one? Like Circuit Playground is now our new favorite, of course, but do you have one that just like, ooh, this is...
Like, what is your thing?
No, I want the next thing. It's the stuff we haven't done yet. That's what drives me.
Yeah, like we're launching Circuit Playground today, yeah.
The speaker fat I liked because it was just, making something out of something that's otherwise could have been quite simple.
Yeah.
And when we put the little VU meter in, that
That's
just...
so cute.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Ding, ding.
All right, so as far as, don't spill the beans, as they say, but what are some of the things that you're working on?
Spill some beans.
Well, what's some of the things that you're working on that you're like, okay, this is going to be really cool?
Yeah, so more displays. So we've had the displays in the Picade, but we want to make that kind of, we want to have some simple, good choices for displays mainly on the Pi. Otherwise, we want to start getting into more niches, so maybe a bit of mechanical keyboards.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we
I
had
love
a
mechanical
pseudo-random
keyboards.
with Colin. We
Yeah.
explored, and now you see them all over. Like,
Yeah.
they were always there, but this is a whole other community.
But that needs people like us to
Yeah.
come and democratize it a bit.
Yeah,
'cause-
it's too expensive. There's group buys only,
Yep.
and it's hard to source.
Yep.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
They can light up. They can do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
And
a
a
good
lot
one.
of them using Teensy's, essentially.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
working off the Teensy code,
Yeah.
which is good, you know?
Okay.
The Teensy does very well.
It is funny to
Everyone loves
see.
it.
I always see people like DIY keyboard, and they like have a gigantic PCB, and then there's like a little like Teensy 2 or Teensy 3 like just
Yeah.
plugged in the center.
We want to do better robots as well. Our robot game is weak at the moment.
Yeah,
You
robots are
know,
hard.
yeah, we just started doing some robotics.
Yeah.
Heavy, expensive, everything's remade over and over and over again.
Yep.
Battery power, and then finally maybe you'll code.
Yep.
So that's a tough one.
The thing about robotics that's challenging is to get anything of good quality. It's like it does get expensive, and people are like, no, I want a $20 robot. And it's like, well, you're not going to get. It's hard to make something good for $20.
Yeah, but I think the thing that changed that in the last month is Tanya and Rachel Konichiwa Kitty took Brian Corteil's Cannon Fodder's four-wheel drive robot, which it's a good robot, but then they put kind of Mad Max post-apocalyptic stuff on it and a whole load of My Little Ponies. That changes everything.
Yes.
You change it from being just a robot into being, a dream machine.
Yeah.
People will be willing to pay for it and use it and you find out it's not actually that expensive. It's just things like the Pi Zero makes everything look expensive.
Yeah.
When something's $5, everything else, like cables are $5. That's like, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll ask some maker businessy questions.
Yep.
How many people are you all
We
now?
are 39 now.
39.
Yeah.
And how many were you just 2 years ago?
2 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
10, 20, 15,
All right.
something like that.
What has been one of the challenges? Because it seems like you're just as busy as us. Like what?
Yeah.
What are
I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, process. We're starting to need more and more process, and putting in and putting enough in, but not too much, and putting the right stuff in is hard.
So,
and I think what the hardest thing was? Me and John letting go and letting other people play.
Yeah.
We didn't hold on for too long, but we held on for a long time.
Yeah.
Because obviously nobody else can do this but us. We've now been proved completely wrong.
Yeah.
We sleep a lot better for it.
That's good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the things that got you there are there's core values, but then you have to let go of some things.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's a heavy weight. You have to, and there's really smart
you
people.
always have to carry it, yeah.
The good news is that, your culture that you put in will live on. Like, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. I hope so. It's going, touch wood, it's going well.
Do you see a trajectory with growth? Like, do you think you're going to be 50 or 100 people soon? Like, what?
We don't know. The way Pi is going, and the fact I think so many people just don't know about us yet. We forget how underground we are, really. Because for the longest time, we were better known in Argentina than we were in Sheffield, which was weird.
What's in Argentina?
Don't know, people.
Okay,
Geeks.
all right.
Yeah, hungry geeks.
Yeah,
the shipping to Argentina works pretty well.
Yeah, Adafruit, we think that we're still just a couple people. We're over 100 people.
Yeah.
And, we have some coverage in the news sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But most people, this is the beginning of a market. Most people don't know what Adafruit is. They don't know what a Pimoroni is. They don't know these things.
Yeah.
And so if you're interested in building a business, it's a really good time because we're just at the start.
Yeah.
It's not the end. It's not like, well, I'm going to start making desktop computers. It's a hard biz.
Yep.
All right. So
I want the people who've kind of been with us all the time and been with Adafruit, I always want them to be happy. So we always keep doing new stuff, joyous stuff. Mm-hmm. But I want people not to get bored when we keep saying, this is how you start with MicroPython, this is how you do this is how you do that. You need to keep doing the 101s until they gleam.
Yeah.
And just keeping up with what people are interested in.
There's always more beginners than experts.
Yeah. And there's still so much work to be done to make it trivial to pick stuff up and do it.
All right. Well, as a cool person and a leader in this maker world, what are some of the things that you'd like to see all of us, companies and people, work on? What do you think?
That's a big question.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You said we want to talk philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we do? Make it easy for people, but not make it dumb.
Yeah.
That's it. Just think about how people use stuff.
Yeah. If I had to think of something, it's just empathy all around. Like, imagine yourself as that person. Maybe they're an expert, maybe they're a beginner, but if you can imagine yourself as them and how to make it delightful every interaction.
Yeah. I think the bigger thing, the thing I want to get to eventually is, if you're not involved in kind of getting humanity off this planet onto other planets, or feeding the planet somehow, or making things more efficient, they're the things we should be kind of all interested in.
Yeah.
Until we all know how to do stuff and raise that water level and knowledge, we can't get to those things. I want a community space program.
Yeah.
I want people to be working on spacesuits and trying them out and just getting risky about this.
Yeah, and what's interesting is you think like, oh, you're just like, this is just light up fun electronics, but how do you get to the engineer that can build a rocket? Well, they have to start somewhere.
You have to fail a lot.
Yeah, and you have to also have some type of community that carries you forward.
Yeah, and that's so much more fun than planning for the apocalypse.
Yeah,
I think. Let's plan for the not apocalypse.
Yeah, no, I think that every single day, I mean, it's how Adafruit thinks, is like, how can we make the world a better place?
Yep.
And how can we bring more people together?
Yeah.
So I see a lot of similarities with Pimoroni. Like, even on the boards, it's just like, this is something I want to do.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Just get people into it, get people interested, get people building,
Gotcha.
crafting in every single way.
All right, here's right before the show, we talked about one of the things that if we could like do something over or whatever, because we were mentioning like, so our inventory system, the way we built Adafruit, we didn't take back orders.
Yep.
So now we do for like large resellers, and it would have been interesting to maybe have that built in from the start, but we didn't expect to maybe be more than a couple people.
Yep.
So if you can wave a magic wand or send yourself a message to the past, what is one of the things that you would update or tell yourself in the past about the business you've built and the community and the products?
Yeah, I don't know. I think personally it's more about just doing things, don't dawdle, don't be afraid of starting things, don't be afraid of getting it wrong, talking to people, and just executing on stuff.
Yeah.
Just the sitting there kind of thinking, oh, should I do it that way? Should I do it this way? Just get on with it.
Yeah.
Business-wise, yeah, like I say, we should have let go. We should have, invested in our people sooner.
Gotcha.
Which means just kind of giving people agency.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Giving people skills and agency to make a change.
Yeah. Freedom plus responsibility is that key piece. Is like you have the flexibility and freedom to make decisions and everything, but you're also responsible because you're part of a company and part of a cause.
Yeah, I think freedom, if you pick your people right, the responsibility happens anyway.
Yeah.
But
Very cool.
if you don't trust them, then
trust goes. The only way to get trust is to give trust.
Yep.
So all right, good stuff. All right, so we're gonna do some. Thank you, by the way.
Cool.
We'll take
My
some
pleasure.
questions too.
Yeah, we're gonna take questions. We're gonna run a little later on the show, but it's always well worth it.
Yes.
Let's do some new products, and
Yes.
we have a new product from.
Pimoroni.
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 All right, Lady, let's do this. Before we do new products, though, this is a code. 10% off. Pimoroni. Okay, Lady, it's time. Sing your song.
No, no, no. No, no, no.
Okay. Everyone asked for this in the chat and more. We don't do spam and we don't do newsletters that you don't ask for. So we do have a new product newsletter. It's only if you ask for it. And
There's no pop-ups. You have
there's
to
no
go
pop-ups,
and sign up.
Sign up.
We're actually, it's going to we hide it.
Yeah, we make it very difficult.
Yes.
To get any emails from us. That's how we respect privacy. So, anyways, we just rolled that out. So anything that you see here will be in the new product newsletter. All right, Lady, take it away. Boom. All
Okay,
right, go
first
through these
up,
fast.
Updated product. We have the Raspberry Pi Zero camera kit. This is the Pi Zero, not the Zero W, so we put this pack back in, and now we have it with the new Raspberry Pi official case and the short little camera cable. So it's less expensive and it's lovely. We have both the Raspberry Pi 8 megapixel and the no IR 8 megapixel is the black one. So both options are available and they're in the store now.
All right,
Just like before, but better.
but better, darker, casier. Okay. Hey, look, someone's logo's on that too. All right, cool. Next up. What else you got?
We've got a thermocouple. This is a K-type thermocouple, and it has a metal tube on the end. This is really handy if you want to use a K-type thermocouple and you want to like put it in liquid, or you want to not have like the exposed, welded tip. It's enclosed in a metal case, and so it has a little bit more thermal mass to it, but otherwise it's identical to all K-type thermocouples, and you can use it with any of our K-type thermocouple amplifiers. We have like 4 different options.
Okay, next up.
This is a Kelvin clip. It's just basically what's called, even though Kelvin connectors tend to have 4 contacts, this is a clip that has 2 metal jaws, you can see here, but they're separated. So you can use it, for example, to grab a surface mount component and measure it, and you can do in-circuit measurements, of course, or component measurements. It's kind of handy anytime you want to measure across something and you want to grip it. This clip is a very inexpensive and easy way to do so. Maybe I'll show it. What do you
It's always really handy. If you drop resistors, that makes it easier to pick them up.
Maybe I'll show it really fast on the overhead because it's a little interesting. So you can see a surface mount part.
Oh, look at that.
And these are the 2 jaws, and you can see they're separated. But they're grippy. They have little grips on them. So then I just soldered some wires, and you can connect it to your breadboard or something. A very handy kind of clip, because most clips, the metal goes all the way around rather than being separated, as you see here. So that's a Kelvin clip.
From the LADYADA playlist.
Yeah.
All right. I like when you stock tools that you use. That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I use these.
All right, next up.
It is a 5 AA battery holder. We have 4, we have 6, now we have 5. Why?
Is this gonna be like those razor blades? Like, we're going to 6 blades.
This has moisture strips. Now, this has 4 AA batteries and a 2.1 millimeter DC jack. And the reason we went with 5 is because we've been building some robots and we want to power them with an Arduino. And Arduinos have a 5-volt regulator. And the 5-volt regulator needs about 1 volt or 2 volt above 5 volts to operate properly. And so if you use a 4 AA battery holder, it only gives you 6 volts, not enough. And if you use a 6 AA battery holder, it's too big. And you're just like, it's just like this unwieldy thing. So 5 is
It's
like
a battery transport device.
right in the middle.
Yeah.
This is right in the middle. It gives you 7.5 volts from alkaline batteries, about 6 volts from nickel metal hydride batteries. It's just the right amount to drive a Arduino or a robot, and it fits into our little robot chassis quite well.
Okay. And then next up.
This is the Espirino Wi-Fi. Hard to pronounce, easy to use. It is a JavaScript microcontroller. We love microcontrollers with embedded evaluation engines, and this is one of them. It has the interpreter for JavaScript inside. It's an STM32F4 chip. And we've had the Espirino for a while, but now this version has an ESP8266 on the back. And so you get Wi-Fi with your Espirino, which is amazing. So you can do JavaScript, you can connect to it over USB, you can type in code, there's a web ID as well, and you can connect to the interwebs. And it comes fully assembled.
Okay.
Maybe I'll show it really quickly.
All right,
It's
show it really quickly.
Well, it's got this module on the back. So it's got this.
Move it over.
It's got all these legs, but then on the bottom, an ESP8266. It's quite cute because it's like exactly the same size. And what's nice is how simple it is. It's just the chip, USB, some power stuff, and a reset button, so you can get started quite quickly with the Espirino Wi-Fi.
Okay. We have 2 stars of the show tonight, both from people here. What's this?
Why don't you talk about this?
Yeah.
Here, we can plug this in. Hold on. Let me get
So
it
we have
powered.
this great animation.
Yep.
Now,
Oh, what is
why don't you
this?
explain
this-
this while I power this up?
So we had the scroll fat, and I think that was the driver chip we had at the time. That was the most LEDs we could stick on there. And that was cool, that was a good start. And I think then, basically, okay, you released your Charlieplex boards, and we got envious.
There are a lot of LEDs.
Yeah. So we got LED envy.
Yes.
And
It's got
so,
full PWMs,
yeah.
if you like the PWMs.
So we made this, and we made it fit kind of so it covered pretty much all of the fat,
Yeah.
as much as possible.
And so so the previous version had how many LEDs?
Some. I don't
Some.
know. I didn't count them.
This has more.
This has more.
And, okay, so let's go to the overhead because we've got this scrolling thing going.
Yeah.
Here, I'll click this maybe.
Look at that.
It's so bright. But so it's got this
Yeah.
like nice swirly display. Did you cut that up?
No, I don't code. I'm the worst coder
Oh,
ever.
sorry.
I don't engineer, I don't code. I hack.
Okay. Well, did you
I'm
hack
about
this code
results.
together?
No.
Okay.
This is John playing with shaders.
Okay, this is
There
cool.
was the really cool forest fire demo though.
Okay.
If you see that does kind of a
Okay.
a cellular automata.
Oh, like a Game of Life?
Okay.
So it comes in all white with these beautiful LEDs, and it's I2C, and it works on a Pi Zero. Well, it's the same size as a Pi Zero. Oh, wait, slow
Yep.
down, and it's going to go back around.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Oh, so
Oh,
relieving.
neat.
That's so nice. It's the same size as a Pi Zero or Pi Zero W, but it works with any Raspberry
Yeah.
Pi.
40-pin header. Works with
And
anything.
just between you and me, I kind of like the little slim style more than the hat style because I hate that EEPROM thing because it always conflicts.
Yeah.
You know?
One of these days we're going to use that. We're going to learn how
No,
to put the code in it.
I burned the ID in, but it's
Yep.
like I'm like, well, I don't know how to make it do anything.
Well, no,
so-
you're supposed to get the overlay on there completely.
Oh,
So it just
really?
loads it all, yeah.
Oh,
And it just
interesting.
works.
Is that because the overhead it's hard to tell? Is it warm white or cool white?
I'd call that slightly cool.
Slightly
cool
cool.
white.
I think
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. We could try showing it on the big screen. Maybe it's a little clearer.
But it's great because you can put gels in front of it very easily and
Yeah.
change the color.
Yeah.
So we have the robot kit. But
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I actually
you
kind of like
folks
it.
should be stocking that soon, but that makes it orange.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it takes the color very well.
So, okay, so you've got this, and it's got all the PWM sets lovely in Python, and that's the S31FL744. And, they came up with some chips now that can do 8x8 grids, too,
Cool.
just like last week.
Yeah.
I'll get you some samples. Okay.
Okay, and then our big announcement, LADYADA, it's here.
This is Circuit Playground Express. So I actually totally forgot to put these in stock before the show, so I'll do that tomorrow, but you can sign up now.
Yeah.
So this is the latest Circuit Playground. All the stuff we've learned from the previous Circuit Playground is now in this one. It's very similar looking to the previous version, but it comes with an ATSAM-D21 chip. It's much more powerful, like 6 times the speed, 8 times the flash, 8 times the RAM. It has a much bigger speaker and speaker driver. It's got infrared receive and transmit, so you can like do remote control stuff as well as communicate between Circuit Playgrounds. It has 2 megabytes of SPI flash, so you can run Circuit Python on it, and you can store the data on it. And it's got the same sensors, accelerometers, capacitive touch, LADYADA clip pads, battery connector, switch buttons, and all that good stuff. The reason that we've updated is we wanted to make a board that wasn't just Arduino but could use other programming languages. So by going to this bigger chip, we unlocked. It can also use CircuitPython, and it can also use Arduino.
Yeah.
So it can do almost everything.
Whatever mode you want. And I like that it can grow into the projects you want to do.
Yes. Let's see what else. Oh, there's something.
Mainly it has cute icons.
Yeah, and you can, but MakeCode is the first tutorial that we have up. And so check out the learning guide about how to use that. You can use it in the emulator. And we are not quite ready to put tons of them in stock, but tomorrow we're going to put in about 50 to 70. And so sign up, and we're going to have them for only one person at a time. Like we like to do that to get going while we wrap up all the support. We also have a little starter kit.
Yeah.
That comes with a battery pack, a USB cable, and 3 AAA batteries. The battery pack has an on-off switch, so you can use that for on-off switch, and it comes in a little box. So we'll be doing a lot more with Circuit Playground Express, but this is our first developer revision. We've released it, the hardware's done, and now it's just a matter of basically writing code for all of these different platforms.
Yeah.
And we're really excited. We'll carry both for a little bit, but eventually we're going to probably transition just to the Express.
Okay. And with that, LADYADA, just new products. Good work.
Yay.
All right, don't forget everybody, code's Pimoroni. 10% off needed for store all the way out to 11:59 p.m. Maybe I'll let the code go a little bit longer since you're going to put stuff in stock. And I got to ask you, do you make this logo too?
Yep.
Of course you did.
Yep.
This is a nice
It's
one.
actually adorable.
I like it. So, did you have the skull in there from the start, or did you it needs a little extra skull?
No, the skull was always there.
Always there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, that's a cute skull.
Because otherwise he might just be a sailor
Yeah.
with bad teeth,
No,
right?
it's clear that he is
Piratical.
pirate.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's a robot, a monkey, and a ninja to go with them. There's a whole set.
So cool.
You can get I should
But
have
this
bought
is the
our
one
tote
you use
bags.
the most, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do some questions. So folks have a couple questions in the chat. Paul's here. Okay. We call these hug reports at the end of the week when people are like, hey, instead of bug reports, hug reports. So someone says, this is cool. The scroll fat is only 45 cents more than the older one, but has twice as many LEDs.
Yep.
Shout out. That's a value.
Value. You get your LEDs worth.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of took our pricing from you, which is like where everybody can actually kind of distribute this and use it, but it's affordable.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah, that was actually the follow-up question is how do you set your pricing?
It's kind of, we work out basically what's gone into it, more or less, in terms of the BOM and a bit of assembly. And then it's that 40% for the distributor, so that's the wholesale price. If you want to buy a lot, you can get that price. And it doesn't matter if you're kind of just starting out or if you're kind of a big $2 billion company, you get the same price. And then we recommend the retailers 40% on top of that.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's,
It's working out.
we stole it from you like everything. We're pirates. I'm
But it's
sorry.
working out. No, but it's the thing is design adds the most value, right? It's like a good design.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just people have bought from China and got it and gone, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So you get it cheap for a reason. That's okay. If people want to do that, that's things working.
Yeah, but they're not going to get some
access
beautiful
to stuff.
PCBs.
beautiful PCBs. It's more the stuff around it as well, the joy, the tutorials, the work, the coding.
I love your Python script. I totally grabbed that. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
you're right, having a little script. So we use that now for a bunch of our little things. I've modified it to install. What was it? Oh, the Joy Bonnet.
Yeah.
We wrote code for the Joy Bonnet, and it does analog inputs to create the key codes.
Give us a little shout out in that. So
Yeah, no, I was like, this is great.
Oh,
And then
thank
what else
you.
did we use it? We used it for something else. I can't remember. Whatever it was. But I was like, the idea of having a script that you just run and it sets it all up. I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. People don't want to use the terminal. They want to just type in a single command.
But because people supported us, we got to get Phil, who did really good software. He's the backbone of that. And now we also have Rogue. He does the kind of the Windows stuff, Flotilla, and he did the desktop thing.
Yeah.
So you can do a one-line installer. You can do sudo apt install Pimoroni.
Yeah.
And on your Pi, it will install Pirate Dashboard.
Okay.
And from that, you can then click to install
Oh,
libraries.
that's so cute.
It's dead simple, but it's so helpful to a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right, there's some folks who have laser cutters. They admire your
Yep.
laser skills.
Yep.
They want to know, how many sheets of acrylic do you think you go through a month?
I don't know. We can kind of interpolate this. So I think we've made kind of, 200,000 Pibows now.
Yeah.
All laser cut in Sheffield by our own fair hands.
How many laser cutters do you have?
We have 5 now.
Okay.
We're eyeing up a few more.
Oh, goodness.
One sheet that fits in that is about 1 meter by 760 millimeters.
Yeah.
Are you metric or
No,
imperial?
in the US,
That's
I
fine.
think we're at war with the metric system.
No.
currently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And the sun.
Yeah,
In
we
fact-
drive on the left, so that's our thing. You got to have your quirks,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Yeah. So one of those does 110 slices,
Okay.
and you need 10 of those
Yeah.
to do a whole Pibow. So we can do probably 250 Pibows a day
Wow.
at full steam if we're not doing other stuff like the robot kits.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rory could tell me how much we go through, but it's a lot
Okay.
because we
A
have the big
lot.
recycling bins. We have recycling bins like twice the size of this table,
Yeah.
and every couple of months we fill those with offcuts
Yeah.
of perspex, which then go to be recycled into more perspex.
That's cool.
All right.
So that's the
Perspex monster.
Follow-up question from the MakerBiz chat that we're having is, if you had advice for people doing Kickstarters, what would it be?
No.
No, I wouldn't say that. Take a lot of good advice from people who've done it before.
Really? Okay, you've done
yeah.
it before.
So you've done it before?
Yeah.
So we've done it before, yeah. It's Hofstadter's law. It will always take more money, more time, and more expertise than
Yeah.
you think, even if you take that into account. I think it's getting harder and harder to do it, and there have been some high-profile failures that really shouldn't have, which has kind of soured it a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, we were terribly late on our Kickstarter, but we managed to feel really bad about it and beat ourselves up. And in the end, I think we always delivered something pretty shiny.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got to do your numbers right. Get your numbers right.
Yeah, with hardware, I think now that Kickstarter's been around long enough, there seems to be an expectation that you might never get it. And that wasn't true before. And you delivered, so that was...
Yeah, I think we'd always kind of, we wouldn't want to never not deliver. That's no.
The other question was, would you consider, if you do this again, an Indiegogo or a crowd supply or something like that if it was available in the UK? Because those are the models are a little bit different.
They are, yeah. They're differentiating a bit now. Indiegogo are adding more bits like Arrow approved stuff.
Yeah. They'll do distribution or something.
More collaborators and
Yeah.
things, which is a good direction, but
Yeah.
you need to see whether there's any substance behind that. And if there isn't, not so much. Seed do it well.
Yeah.
Because Seed have something that's kind of mostly finished
Yeah.
and go to Kickstarter to say, okay, do enough people want this?
Yeah.
That's fine. It's slightly less exciting, but
Yeah.
it's less risky.
Stofford does that. He's like, the design for the Teensy is done, but how many
Yep.
people want it? And then he just uses it as like a
Yeah.
way to get promotion and a lot of signups, and he knows how many to do for the first run.
And Kickstarter is where the people are at.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right. I think we asked this before, but I'll ask it again. What is the next design you're looking forward to for either the Fat Line or one of your products?
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly say about that.
Okay, that's
More,
fine.
more blinky LEDs.
More blinky LEDs.
What does
We've got
the,
something, we've got a hat coming out that's just like so shiny.
what's the
That's
P in fat? Is it Pimoroni hat?
Pimoroni, Pirate, Partial,
Partial hat.
Pico,
Okay.
whatever you want.
I didn't know what it was. I was like,
We just made it up
Yeah,
and people
fat.
started adopting it.
Okay.
Apart from you had to go bonnet.
well, I thought it was Pimoroni. I was like, well, I didn't want to like encroach on the.
Really?
Yeah, because I
Why
figured
don't
that
you
was.
just ask us?
I don't don't know. 'Cause
It's like we didn't say no, Lady Ada.
No, because we also like little hat names and things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So bonnet.
Oh,
It's a
bonnet's
little-
really, yeah.
It's a cute little hat.
You have your own thing.
Also, I wasn't sure, like hat, it's too close to hat, I don't know. I'm
All
a little
right.
paranoid.
Next up, so for the folks who want to watch your team on video, one of
Yeah.
the questions was, where can they find? I believe the show is called Bilge Tank.
Yes, Phil.
Yes.
Where can they find that?
Bill's Tank, you can find that on YouTube. We're up to episode 92 now.
Wow.
Wow.
Which is, yeah. And it's mostly weekly and it's approximately on time.
Yeah.
And we just,
Just like pirates.
yeah, we adopt the pirate ethos. And yeah, just look for Pimoroni on YouTube, look for Bilge Tank. I think it's creeping up the Googles now.
Okay.
And it's just us chuntering for half an hour. And
What, you're what?
chuntering.
Chuntering.
Chuntering?
Chuntering.
What the heck is that?
Yeah, it's like regurgitating
Oh.
speech.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have
Just
a
talking.
Britishism.
Bantering.
Bantering.
But we don't like banter.
Banter, I like.
Banter's a bit too loose.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Chuntering.
we're too technical for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then as far as the format of the show, because I always get asked these questions, and now you've seen our setup
Yep.
that we do, what are some of the things that you use to broadcast? Because
Yeah.
I don't have many things that I like to watch because I'm usually filming her. I like that.
Yep.
And so all the internet shows, I don't just like a talking head or someone complaining. Don't like that. And so I like things where you could tell there's a group of people that are doing something interesting.
Yep.
And there's like more than one person. Like looking in the camera by yourself, I don't. But so what are some of the things that you do on the technical side, and then on the what's the goal of the show?
The only reason we do Bilge Tank is because editing video takes a long time.
Yes.
We can walk in, we can do it live, we can do minimal preparation.
Yeah.
So sometimes prep can take as little as a day.
Yeah.
Mostly, yeah. But sometimes it's like half an hour of prep. We can walk in and do something that's informative and fun.
So the people who want to see the hot new things, they should check out Bilge Tank.
Yeah, we always do a special. If there's a pie launch, we'll get in there at 7 a.m. and just say, hey.
Hey.
there's a
Rather
new
than ask where
thing."
3 a.m. Hi, it's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So this one's for you. How do
Hi.
you decide which products to stock from Pimoroni?
I carry just about everything. There's a couple items that I know I remember saying I don't know if that makes sense. Like I think the propeller hat.
Yeah.
So I just have had a personal disaster with propeller,
Really?
and so I'm just allergic to it.
Okay, yeah. I understand.
I think they've gotten a lot better, but
Okay.
we used to carry a whole bunch of propeller things, and so I was like, you know what? I was going to pause on that. Sometimes I pause and then I come back and I'm like, okay, I'll carry it. But now I think I carry just about everything. I may not carry every variant, I think, but I think I don't know if I carry all the different colors of stuff.
I think it was just kind of, Phil had been talking to him. This was Phil's thing. This was Phil's baby.
Yeah.
Phil had been talking to them. He liked the propeller mainly for doing SID chip emulation type things.
Yeah, that's
so we built
video
it.
demo scene.
It's super cool. I just
Yeah.
that's the one that I can remember. I'm like, I'm gonna pause on this one.
There's a beautiful but small audience for it.
It
and
is,
they love it.
and but I think I carry easily 90-95% of everything, and almost
Yeah.
I order it usually as soon as I get the notice that it's available, and then it takes a couple weeks and eventually shows up.
Yeah.
So we have your 4 Pi Zero packs coming in.
Yep.
They're in the house. We have to photograph them, and they'll be going in next Wednesday.
So at the moment we've been a bit slower than usual. Because sometimes we had the thing where you were out of stock of things and we could order this but not this, and it's like, when
Yeah.
can we get that?
Yeah.
And we had a similar thing where suddenly everybody said, oh my word, Raspberry Pi is a thing. Hey,
Yeah.
Pimoroni, could we have all your stuff now, please? Now.
Yeah.
And we got floored around January.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're now just scrambling to kind of grow.
That's true. We're hitting 95%. It's hard.
We finally got it in
Yeah.
stock.
Yeah.
I think we're breaking that cocoon now and coming out as a beautiful butterfly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or moth.
Yeah, we're a dark moth. So another question we got this asked too. I like that our companies are similar because I'm used to getting these questions and handing them over to LADYADA. So in the UK, do you have a retail store? Will you have a retail presence? What about retail? Retail.
Retail, we'd love to do a pop-up shop somewhere.
Yeah.
We let people walk in and pick stuff up.
Wow. Do they do it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, because
Sheffield's a burgeoning hacker community.
Sheffield's all right. It's a series of little villages, so you
Yeah.
have lots of hacker communities that barely talk to each other,
Yeah.
and I think that's cool. Tribes. It's all about different tribes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a seaport?
No, we're the furthest from the sea you can
Okay,
get.
so this is all.
These are landlocked pirates.
These are things that I'm learning now.
You don't tell people to go to the sea. You convince them to build boats.
But we're only ever 2 hours from the sea.
That's not bad.
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
in England
All
is
right.
not
So
far.
is
The UK's tiny.
I know, like Wyoming.
Are your
Okay.
products available in some retail locations, or have you?
Yeah. Micro Center are
Yeah.
stocking more and more of our stuff.
Same here.
Yep.
Did we introduce you to them, or did?
We met Samantha at Make Fair,
Okay.
Yeah.
New York.
Right, because
So-
we always try to play matchmaker. We're just like,
Yeah.
here's a great company or
Samantha's
whatever.
great.
Yeah, Samantha's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't interested in doing retail until Micro Center and Samantha and the team there,
Yeah.
and they made it possible.
Yeah. They did it in a way that didn't make your skin crawl.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
we don't mind it so much. We're not as cool as you.
Well, we weren't ready. We didn't have the packaging. We wanted to
Right.
be razor focused on our online customers,
Yep.
and
Oh,
so
the internet's where it's at. So
Yeah.
the original question was retail store. We'd like to see something more like the Apple Store inverted. So the learny bits at the front where you walk in and just kind of do a workshop and
yeah, the
stroke
Apple-
the electronics a bit.
Yeah, the Apple. It's in the back and
And
dark.
the buy stuff is
Yeah.
the buy stuff is at the back.
Oh.
So you go in, you have that
Yeah,
experience.
So like turn it inside out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Little Bits had like a store like that.
Yeah.
It was like a playroom, and then on the walls you could buy things. But
Yeah.
in the center was actually the fun parts.
But there's been a few retail stores that have done that where they're just kind of showrooms.
Yeah.
So there's one boot manufacturer in London. You went in, tried the boots on, got your sizing, and then you went to a web terminal and ordered it from the website.
Oh, that's cool.
They were way ahead of the time.
Yeah.
It's like Tesla.
Oh, that's really neat. Okay, last question before we give something away. So, in your younger years, if you did electronics, or even if you didn't, what was a piece of technology or a thing that really set you on this path to want to do what you do?
So it's been two acts. Me and John, we both did electronics as kids, and it was always build your own amplifier. It was the standard circuits that were out there. They never really kind of drove it. Drones. It was drones.
Really?
Me and John,
Yeah.
around about 2008, got into the maker thing, and it was because we wanted to build a drone. So it was you and SparkFun
Yeah.
that we bought kits from. We actually I only started the drone because we got a kit from Free Day from SparkFun.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't been for that, we wouldn't have been into Maker, wouldn't
Yeah.
have been looking at Raspberry Pi.
that's cool.
Yeah, I remember
So-
I told Nate, like, Free Day was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And we were a lot smaller
Yep.
than SparkFun
Yep.
at the time. And I said, this is something like we can't do that. This is so cool. And there's
Yeah.
so many people, this is going to be the first time they did it. I'm just like, nicely done.
Yep.
And it melted servers, and
Yep.
it was fun, frustrating, interesting, scary,
Yeah.
whatever. And you got electronics to do.
Yeah. But it was the participation, the quizzes and everything
Yeah,
they did.
yeah.
And we do Yar Booty around our birthday every year. Or Black Friday now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we have a weekend of questions and quizzes on Twitter.
Oh, that's
cool.
And you have to work breadcrumb trails out and
nice.
big puzzles and things. And that's so much fun. And we do that because SparkFun did Free Day.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was the best thing ever.
And then they carry your stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's great.
So- Yeah.
Full circle.
So there was the other one that came in is like Talk Like a Pirate Day thing, and is it?
Yeah.
It's every day. You guys are worn out.
Every day is Talk Like a Pirate Day at our
Okay.
place. Yeah. And we talk about unicorns more than pirates.
Really?
We act like pirates, but talk about unicorns.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Because if you're a pirate, you've done it. So
Yeah.
like, what are you gonna talk about? Unicorns.
Yeah.
Unicorns talk about pirates,
Yeah.
from what I understand. Okay, Lydia, let's give something away.
Yes.
What do you want to give away tonight?
We're going to give away one of these LED fats.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what are the rules?
It's from Pimoroni.
What are the rules?
The rules are you can't win more than once. Only one winner per my lifetime. So if
Yeah.
you won something from this show, please let somebody else call in and win. The first person to call, I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to say, hey, you reached Ask Engineer. And you're going to say your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah.
And maybe a Raspberry Pi project you've built or something else that you're working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how do they win, LADYADA?
They have to call, and then
Yeah.
when I pick up the phone, say their name and where they're calling from.
Okay. We're gonna try to do this. It's always
This is the line, phone number.
it's always
Phone
a
bit
gamble.
stab.
It's always a gamble.
Yes.
So let's see if this works.
It's the phone.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hello, you have reached Ask an Engineer. You're the winner. Congratulations. Wait, why'd they hang up?
They hung up. All right.
What happened?
All right. Hang up the phone.
Okay.
The O on home gives me a snowy white Father Christmas beard. It's really
Yeah, look at
quite-
that.
I like it.
I
Okay,
I
somebody
designed
call
it.
back. They call back. They call back. Ready?
Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
Hello, you have called Ask Engineer and you're the winner. Congratulations. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Hazel, and I'm calling from Oregon.
Hazel from Oregon.
Wow, Hazel from Oregon, congratulations. You're the winner of this Raspberry Pi LED FAT. What are some of the projects that you're working on?
We're working on a project. My speaker hat. I don't know what my dad is saying.
Okay, you've got a speaker hat. So you've got lights and sound. Well, congratulations. You've won something, which is really cool. So please have your dad email support@adafruit.com and say this is for Hazel from Oregon, and we're going to send you out your free prize.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for calling, Hazel. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so that's Hazel.
Okay, Hazel
Very
and,
cool.
and her dad.
Okay, well, that's the show for tonight.
Cool.
Thank you so much for being here.
It's all right.
Yeah, I use this analogy, but I think that if you skateboarded when you were younger or if you skateboard now, we're all kind of just doing tricks.
Yeah.
And we're not competing, we're just making ourselves better and we're showing our work and doing tricks. And so thanks for coming to the skate park and thanks for doing tricks.
Yay.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm smarter and better and a little happier when I see anything y'all do.
Yeah. We make
So
it.
cute.
Yeah. We make things better.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
Pimoroni, making things better.
Yeah.
Adafruit, making things slightly worse, but maybe better in long term.
Yeah.
No, as a collective.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, the aesthetic, the skulls, everything about the company, and just keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, that's it, everybody. We're going
Thank
to
you.
get out of here. The code.
Yo ho ho.
Yeah, if you call and it went to voicemail, that's cool. Leave us a nice message. This is the code. We'll leave it up going for a little bit longer. We'll see everybody next week. And thank you once again.
Yeah.
Thank you,
All
Paul.
right. Thank you all the
We're
Adafruit
gonna
team
go
members. Yeah, we're
Get
gonna
Paul drunk.
Woo!
drunk on joy.
Enjoy.
And
Yes.
we'll see everybody next week. We're going to have more shows, more videos, more everything. We have a new setup here, and we'll be able to show some of the actual manufacturing of electronics while it's live, and you'll be able to see the product as it's going in stock. So
Sweet.
from womb to tomb or something like that, or farm to table. Yeah, I got dark there. Sorry about that. Pirate humor. Or yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
From pirate to booty.
yeah. So thank you everyone out there, and thank you to the community of folks that support companies like Paul's, like Adafruit,
10% off their stuff. And also go to their shop, Pimoroni.com.
Pimoroni.com,
Pimoroni.
Pimoroni.com, shop.pimoroni.com, and also the Twitter account is super fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like one of the
that's
few
quite
I
hard to get
actually
that.
follow. I'm just like, this is fun.
Yeah.
So see everybody next week. Here's a picture of a cat, because we got to do this. Pirate cat. Here's your moment of Zener. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.